Cheetahs. These beautiful and unique cats have inspired and intrigued people for centuries. They are built for speed rather than power. As the world's fastest land animal, they can run at up to 110 kilometers an hour. They are also set apart by their shy nature and lack of aggression towards humans. There are no known cases of cheetahs killing people. But their survival is in jeopardy. Farmers see cheetahs as a threat to their livestock, so they hunt, poison and trap them indiscriminately. They often kill the mother and cage the cubs. A case of what scientists would call human-wildlife conflict. Meet Dr. Lori Marker. She began her extensive cheetah research in 1974 as a veterinary assistant, dedicating her work and life to the cheetah's survival. She is also the co-founder and executive director of the Cheetah Conservation Fund. Based in Otjiwarongo in northern Namibia, CCF is an international non-profit organization committed to the long-term preservation of the cheetah and its ecosystem.
I have worked with cheetahs for such a long period of time, since the early 1970s, and ended up in Namibia really with the cheetah and teaching it how to hunt and finding out if cheetahs could learn how to hunt in the wild. And this cat I actually raised for a 10-year period of time. And when she passed away, and I kept going back and forth into Namibia and other areas of Africa, I realized that people didn't understand the cheetah. Farmers were killing them, and I needed to understand why.
95% of Namibia's cheetahs live on commercial and communal farmland because competitive predators like lion and hyena are uncommon here. One of the biggest challenges Namibian livestock farmers face is finding effective ways to protect their animals. Over the last 18 years, Dr. Marker has devised a whole series of measures to reduce the conflict between farmers and predators. One measure involves these cuddly little creatures. They may look harmless, but when they are fully grown, Anatolian shepherd dogs are watchful and fiercely protective of their herds. Aware of these qualities, Dr. Marker put the breed at the center of their so-called livestock guarding dog program.
So they're a special breed, and they've been used to protect livestock against predators in Turkey for over 5,000 years. So they are a big breed of dog. They're not high energy, they're very, very intelligent, and what they do is really protect the livestock by barking, growing up with the flock, and becoming a member of the flock, and protecting the flock really from predators.
The CCF breeds and places these puppies free of charge to commercial and communal farmers throughout Namibia. The dogs are usually placed with farmers when they are between 6 and 8 weeks old to allow the pups to bond with the flock. Since 1994, over 400 of these specially bred dogs have been deployed. CCF also advises farmers to reintroduce herdsmen, who always accompany their animals to ensure they don't wander off. This is Armas Alwendo. He's been part of the CCF for over 10 years and is in charge of herding its livestock. One key task for Armas is to keep the young stragglers from losing touch with the rest of the herd. This being an untamed wilderness, danger can emerge at any time, and this is where the dogs come in.
One day, while herding the goats, we had to pass a very thick bush, and a leopard was lying in wait behind it. The dogs smelled the predator's scent, and they started barking vigorously. The leopard ran off and mounted a tree. It didn't bother us again. There are many dangers here.
Most farmers with these specially bred dogs report dramatic reductions of livestock losses due to cheetahs and other predators. CCF also emphasizes the use of modern livestock management techniques. Dr. Marker regularly visits and advises farmers on how to implement predator-friendly protection methods. Key to this approach is the calving kraal, a holding pen for pregnant cows and young calves. They are most susceptible to predators. With CCF's help, Johan Brett is one farmer who is learning to coexist with cheetahs and other predators instead of removing them from farmland.
Many times the problem lies with the farmer. And I'm not saying we have bad farmers. I think we have excellent farmers. I think it's just they need to get used to changes and do things maybe a little bit differently.
CCF is also a cheetah research and welfare center of international importance. In its clinic, today's patient is receiving dental treatment. CCF constantly monitors the health of its captive and soon-to-be released cheetahs. These moments are also used to train conservation professionals from across Africa.
It's a practical training for them to have a good feel for what the anesthesias are, and so our Gabi, our vet, will be, gives a talk on understanding anesthesias and overall health of the animals.
Dr. Marca's ultimate goal is to see wild cheetahs living in their natural habitat. So whenever possible, she prepares the cheetahs she rescues from farmers for release. But the rescued animals need to be able to fend for themselves before they are released. So CCF monitors their hunting skills in a 20-hectare monitoring enclosure. These three barely visible gentlemen are already blending in.
When you do a introduction and rewilding, you want to know exactly where they are and make sure that they're not in any danger. So with that, it allows us to follow where they are, what they're eating. We want to know how they're hunting. So our team follows them 24 hours a day. It allows us to figure out the distances they're moving, what it is they are hunting, and how they are adapting to their wildlife.
The cheetahs are having a well-earned rest after hunting down a warthog. Their prospects for release are good.